I get all these comments. Well, some that are like, do you do this stuff by yourself? Oh, yes, I do. This stuff gets so heavy. What do you think? Does that work? If it's right around my TV, can you see? Let me come over here. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can see a little bit. Well, I'll wait until I get the tank too. But yeah, people ask me all the time, like, you do this stuff by yourself? Yes. And these little tanks aren't too bad. It's just the big tanks. So if you go back and watch some of my videos, you see me like move a 125 by myself. Well, I don't know if you see me move it, but I like put it up on a double decker stand that's over 6 feet tall. Whew. Yeah. More water on carpet. All right, you get a little razor like this, and you can only do this for glass tanks. This is a glass tank, so I can do it. You don't do it on acrylic. And you just have watermarks like that, and you could just scrape them off like this. You're just kind of putting a little pressure down and just going back and forth. Too much pressure will, well, there's that. Too much pressure will mess your tank up. Then you just wipe it away. You can use a towel, but just wipe it away and it's gone. All right, now we get to the fun part. Now, we are on carpet, so we will have to level and put shims underneath the front. So this tank leans forward. And I might show some clips on how it works, but if you don't have a level like this, you can use the water level. I would rather have the water level go from the top like this and go backwards, because you'll know that it's pushed back. Okay, you don't want it to lean forward, because if the tank leans forward and you have a earthquake where you live, it starts to shake and it's already uneven and it falls forward. So I will be shimming this tank, but let's start with what you wanted to see, the decorations and all that, how we set it up. Okay, so first we'll take off the lid, put this down to the side over there, and we're just gonna go ahead and start with the rocks. I mean, I might as well, they're clean. Let's go for it. Now we're gonna try to use everything we got, and all we got was these rocks with the tank. I don't know if it'll be enough. Remember, this is a glass tank, so you should not really dump them from a crazy height. I'm just gonna sit the bucket in, pick it up from the bottom, and dump like that. There was some weird blue rocks in here. Would I do this? Would I, have those kind of rocks normally? No, I wouldn't. But that's not the video. The video is how we're setting up our free tank that we got. So we're just gonna do that. Move them around. Now, a lot of the times when you get rocks from like people, you don't ever know what's in them. I have had some rocks that had razor blades in them, tacks, all sorts of stuff. So you should really spread them out outside before you do anything and look through them with gloves on, because you don't know. These rocks could be sitting. Some reason there's always tacks around and they get dropped in there and then they're rusty, or razor blades, because we just used one And what if I set it in the bucket? So just be mindful of that as you're running your hands through here, or washing it for that matter. Now, we got this. We're going to go for our filtration. We're going to go with sponge filters, okay? These are cheap. I think I got 5 off of Amazon for $30 or so when I bought these a while back. So we're just going to use sponge filters, all right? And then what you need with a sponge filter is an air pump. I got this on Amazon. I think it was on sale for 10, $15. Brand new out of the box. I was going to use another one, but I seen this under there. So we got our air pump. We got our sponge filters. And now you need airline tubing. You can get airline tubing from any pet store. Depending on what kind of roll, it ranges from like, I don't know, I haven't bought it in a while. Depending where you are, $8 to $15 for the length. You don't need that much. I had some laying around, and that's what I have. If you see these little red things, let's come a little closer. You see these little red things right here? They're check valves. So that way the water, when it goes from the tank, because it's going to sit in like this, if the power goes out or anything happens, the water might backflow. And if it backflows, it will not only burn out your air pump, but it'll flood. And I've had this happen before. So we put our check valve at the bottom. It shows you how to do it. We took apart our sponge filter. Make sure you wash these when you first get them. I've already washed these, so they're good to go. You just can get some warm water, squeeze them, run water through them, stuff like that. I'm going to put my hose through the little circle piece and down on the sponge filter. Make sure it's nice and snug on there. And then push on the cap like that, okay? I'm going to sit it in. I like to put mine in the sides of the tank. So like there. Push them down, push them down. I like to leave mine up just a little bit because plecos like to get underneath. So there's one. And I have mine already done, but I need the end piece, so I'm going to cut that, put it through. And I know you guys are kind of far away. I'll see what it looks like. And if I need to scoot it up, like the camera, I'll do that for you as well. But no worries. I'll go through this in depth, and you'll see it with water. And then put it on. Now this one is missing the end piece. So I have some extra tubing. We'll put it in a tank and measure. And I comfortably need like a foot. So I'll cut a little more off because this is just an extra piece. I'll rather cut it long and, cut smaller pieces off than be short. So we're going to put these on like this. And then I'm going to hang them over because I'm going to eventually put it in the back and add the pump. So the pump will go underneath. And there's little holes in the pump that's self-explanatory that you put your hoses into. And I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see it, but put it down in here. Okay? We'll say that's where we'll start our pumps. Now, we got the filtration done. The lights already come in the top. We got our rocks in. So before we start putting decorations in the tank, let's go with how we're going to power everything. Okay? So I'll scoot you up. I'll show you what I have and how I put things together. Right, so we got our surge protector in there. You always want to use a surge protector. That way, if electricity surges, it doesn't blow out like your TV and pumps and stuff like that. This one was too short, so I got a heavy duty long one, and that's what that is. So I got my heavy duty long one. I'm getting ready to plug in my pump and stuff. I did shimmy it, so you see that little piece of wood sticking out right there, and on that side is a paint stick that I stuck underneath. And if we look right here at our little bubble, it is a little bit back. So if we pull forward, you see how it goes back, and that's like pretty level, and we let it go and it leans back. That's how I like my tanks. If you look at this one, it's the same way. You can see how it's pushed back more than forward. So I like them like this. Again, I live in California. We do have earthquakes, so it's will fall back to the wall before it goes forward. Okay. Yeah. So now I look in my bins like this, and I have all this old stuff. If you want, you can get yourself a timer, which I'm gonna use because I don't want to worry about turning the lights off. And that's it. That's from there. And then we have decorations in there, and then we'll get to that. So this is what I came up with. I normally don't do these kind of tanks, sparkly or colorful, especially artificial. But I was like, oh, let's give it a try. I finally found something to do with these shells, which I really like, and I used to use that one. I like how that looks like a cactus sticking up and then a cactus on the back, and my beautiful mermaid in the middle with some like demolition in the back. I like open space water, so it can be crowded in the corners, like where the sponge filters are. That's fine with me, but I like the in front swimming space, so everybody has to come up and feed. Maybe I'll add in some live plants, maybe not. We'll see. I really like the look so far, so what I'm gonna do now is fill it up and then start everything. So start my pumps and all that, so you can see what that looks like, and then we're basically done. The next thing we got to do after water is put in our chemicals and then buy fish. Okay, so we got our water in. I had to go underneath the black part, the rim, which I don't like to do, but on the back side up there, all that, the air bubbles are getting pushed up and it'll splash on the back. So I got to get a cover for that up there. But right now, we're gonna put in our chemicals. I use Chem. I'm not sponsored or anything, but this is what I like to use. It prevents new tank syndrome, so it adds bacteria, good bacteria, into your water. Okay. New tank syndrome, for those who don't know, is when you have a new tank and you don't have enough biological media from some other existing tank, or just enough bacteria to sustain your fish. So that's why we use this. If you did have an already set up tank like this, right, you can just take the water, get it from here, put it in there, you'll be fine. Or even some rocks or some media that you have in the canister filter, and put it in there. But we're just gonna pretend like we don't have any of that and use the chemicals. Okay, so with this, it's 1 capful per 10 gallons. This is like a 36, 40 gallon tank. So I'm gonna go here. One, 2, 3, 4. 4 capfuls of that. And then the next thing that I use is this Safe by Seachem. Removes chlorine, chemicals, ammonia, all that good stuff. I'm really just in here for the chlorine and the chloramine and any metals. So this is what I use. And it's a 1/4 teaspoon for every 300 gallons. So this is super potent. So what I'm really gonna do is all I'm gonna do is do 1 pinch, because I can barely put it on my fingers for this tank, and 2 pinch. Excuse me. Since it's super potent, that's all I'm gonna do. Okay. You can use whatever you want. API, people use that. Let's get it to focus. Other stuff. But this is what I use. So you see it. We're gonna let this go around, and then now you can just wait a day, and you're ready for fish. So we're gonna sit this here. We're done with everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's see, we might get new fish to put in this tank right away. We might not. But I thank you for watching the video. And if I get new fish, I'll extend the video. If I don't, this is the end. So I hope you like this, setting up our free tank. And I'll see you in the next video. Or I'll just see you later on. We'll see.